And we are live. Welcome, 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 everybody. We are here tonight. I'm Tamika Chapman here with Coach Rocky. And as you can tell from our beautiful graphic here, we're going to be talking to you about magnetic messaging. Um, so, Coach Rocky, you ready? Are you ready, Coach Rocky?
Let's go.
Listen, I am Tamika Chapman. I'm business growth strategist, CEO of Mobile Media, where I help entrepreneurs learn how to grow, launch, and scale their businesses to seven figures and beyond. And tonight, I am so excited to have Coach Rocky here to kick off the series, the Scale Her Business series, which is all about teaching women how to scale, grow and scale your business. One of the main things that I've seen so many people struggle with is how to talk, or if they should talk, or what they should say when they talk, or can they talk, right? And so tonight,
Mhm.
I want
Uh-oh.
to give you all an opportunity. I want to give you all an opportunity to learn from the best with us to teach you how to scale.
You
Hello,
froze up just
can
a
y'all
little
hear
bit,
me?
but I heard you. I can
Listen,
hear
that's
you.
what technology. That's what technology does. So, Coach Rocky, let's kick this thing off. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do.
Yes, so I am Janelle Rocket, but everyone can call me Coach Rocky. I am a social media content strategist as well as a fractional CMO, which basically that's the chief marketing officer. So I work with some product-based businesses, and I teach my clients how to create content, how to show up online and become magnetic to their dream clients, and then make sales using their content. And so I'm the owner and founder of Rock Your Content Academy, which is where I do coaching and consulting, working with clients one on one or in group settings, and just kind of going through my Conquer framework, which allows them to conquer their branding, conquer their messaging, their actual content strategy, and then go online and actually show up for their business. So I'm super excited that you invited me. I can't wait to dive into the topic tonight, because I feel like magnetic messaging is things that people are kind of like, oh, what do I do? What is it? And so I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Right, you're welcome. Well, thank you again. Thank you for your yes, because you ain't have to say yes, but I thank you. Um, so, what we're going to do right now, we're just going to dive straight in. We're going to dive into magnetic messaging. And the first thing I want to ask you, Coach Rocky, is what is magnetic messaging? Before we even dive into tips, tools, strategies, resources, and all the good gems, let's just talk about it on a basic level. Like, what is it? How do we create magnetic messaging? Where do we begin with that?
Absolutely. So I think the first thing we should break down is messaging. And messaging is basically saying the right thing to the right people at the right time for the right price. Okay. And so when you have that outline, you're going to always make money online. The thing that makes it magnetic is you, your authenticity, your personality, who you are. That's what makes it magnetic. People don't like, they are attracted to me because of who I am online. They're not attracted to me because they saw me swimming at the pool with my daughter. They love who I am online, who I am, working with my clients. That's what makes me magnetic. So I ask people, I say, what is the thing about you that maybe you've probably been like, I'm trying to hide it, or it's the thing that maybe someone told me, okay, you need to be quiet. That is probably the thing you need to show up as in your business, especially in the service-based industry, and become more magnetic in your business. So that's what I would describe as magnetic messaging.
Oh wow, I love that. What is that thing that you that you normally wouldn't talk about? That's how I think that's more like your authenticity, right? Being a
Mhm.
little bit transparent with your journey, your story, and who you are as an individual. I've heard so many times people say that, people connect to your story, they connect
Yes.
to your journey, not to just what they see on social. And I'm not a big person on social media. I think anybody that I'm attached, you probably know that by now, because I like to connect with people on a greater and a deeper level. I do know social is a part of it. I do know that. But
It's okay.
I love that being able to share your journeys because you learn so much more about a person when you show up as yourself, right? When you show up as
Absolutely.
your authentic self. So going into, so I'm going to use myself as an example along the way, right? Because I don't want to put anybody on Front Street. We have a few more ladies that actually have joined us down here, and a few more that's going to be watching us on YouTube. As a matter of fact, if you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and click the subscribe button, click the notification button, so you can get a notification when we go live any other time. However, using myself as an example, so with the Energizer brand, I it's all about mental wellness for women of color, right? Mental wellness. And that is something that's very near and dear to my heart, because I myself have had mental wellness challenges. And I would
Mhm.
say currently still have, because it's still a journey. There's still things that can sometimes go unresolved. Um, and they just fester up until the point that you really have to give it the attention that it deserves. So for me, just share that across social. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, I don't want everybody in my business. Okay. I don't want to share everything with everybody, because I don't want everybody to know everything that's happening with me. But a conversation I had today told me that very same thing. Like, you are the woman that you are attracting. You
Mhm.
have gone through the journey, or you're going through the journey still, and they're going to be attracted to you and your story, in ways to become better, in
Yep.
ways to have a healthier mental health status, which is what I'm after, right?
Absolutely.
So thank you for sharing that. Now, when it comes to creating this content, when it comes to creating this magnetic message, where do we begin? So now we've tapped in, so we know what it is that we are wanting to share. Our story, we got our words together, we got all the tears out, so we don't just cry on screen 24/7. But where do we begin when we are creating this magnetic messaging from there?
I really think it boils down to kind of going back to the basics, understanding who your person is, who your ideal client is, and understanding what makes them tick, what their interests are, what things that keep them up at night. I do like to say to focus on the pain points, but I don't use pain points in my messaging, in my marketing, because you
Mhm.
should know the pain points of your ideal client, but it doesn't mean you have to call them, struggling, broke, tired, all those things. You don't have to call them that. So definitely honing in on who your person is going to help that messaging part. Because remember, we said messaging is saying the right thing to the right people. Okay, so the right people is your ideal clients, and understanding how your particular product, service, or offer helps them transform, because you're really transferring a belief to them that they can do something and showing them how to do it. And then pulling into it, saying the right thing for the right people at the right time. Everyone that you want to work with is not going to be in a place of where they want to solve their problem. I speak to people who want to solve their problem. If you're constantly trying to convince people to solve their problem, it's never going to work for you. It won't, because they have to first accept that they have a problem and they're ready to do something about it. So, actually, at the right time, right? And then for the right price. Being the cheapest doesn't mean you're the best, and being the highest doesn't mean you're the best. The right price is actually going to appeal to your particular group of people. And they're going to say, you know what? It's not $27. Let me look at it, because it's actually $9.97, or it's $99.97, right?
Right.
So really understanding what price actually appeals to your ideal clients is key too. And so I know that everyone's probably like, girl, when you gonna get to the actual content part? That is really the biggest piece of it. If you understand all those things, now all you have to do is you just got to show up and talk. One, you're
Right.
going to talk about who you are, right? What even makes me an expert? So you got to do what I say, pop your ish, and you
Uh-huh.
got to show off your authority. You got to show off your expertise, some thought leadership. And then you have to also show that you've helped people, real people, not people from 10 years ago. I'm talking about within the last year, you have really helped people transform with your specific solution. And then, of course, engaging with people, having a strategy to interact with people, whether it's, reaching out in the DMs or just on comments and things like that. So I think once you understand the basics and then outline what consistency looks like for you, because for all entrepreneurs, consistency is going to help transform your business. If you say you're going to show up every Monday, you better show up every Monday. Otherwise, people are going to wonder what goes on behind the scenes. If she's not doing what she says she's going to do for herself, how's she going to do what she's supposed to do for us?
Come on.
So really focus on your consistency, and I show up every day. You don't have to be like me. You can be exactly who you are. If it's 2-3 times a week, then fine. Make it your best 2-3 times a week. But I show up every day, no matter where I'm at.
I love this. Listen, I feel like I'm getting scolded. I'm getting a whooping. All the good stuff. Okay.
I yell. They be like, "You yell, Coach Rocky." I be like, "I don't mean to."
It's okay, but it's necessary and it's needed. When we are talking about, if we're here to help someone transform their life in some kind of way with the services and products that we offer, then we have to be willing to show up and present that and show them how it transforms, show them what it means and what it looks like to go through the transformation. So again, thank you for sharing that. Okay. So question, how important is it to have a variety of types of content that you're putting out? So let's say we have video, we have graphics, or maybe some meme. How important is it to use video as opposed to just graphics?
That's a great question. I also want to say a part of your content strategy should be picking the platform that you want to be on. And don't go platform hopping, trying to figure out, which is which. Pick the platform where your people are at, that you can commit to and stick to. So I will say, if you're on Facebook, right, a lot of times graphics it just really depends on the business you have, but posting graphics might not be the best strategy. You might actually want to invest in doing some short form posts and some longer form content posts. Whereas on Instagram, Reels is still like the number one thing that's on Instagram. So doing short form video, going live is still very lucrative and still very profitable on Instagram. And then, of course, that content where you're showcasing like pictures and things like that. And even over to LinkedIn. I like to say LinkedIn is like Nurture City. And if you guys don't know what nurture content is, it's basically a lot of how-to educational content. People love that. They love it on LinkedIn. They love sharing it. They love saving it. So really think about the platform that you're on and what type of content performs best for your people. And I will say this, I worked with a client a couple of weeks ago, and she has a product business. And she was like, "I'm showing up on LinkedIn." I'm like, "Girl, who's on LinkedIn buying your product?" I have a real life moment. Who's on LinkedIn buying your product? And she's like, "Oh, I never thought about it that way." No. You need to go over to Instagram. You need to go over maybe even to Facebook. And if you're thinking about going to LinkedIn, go to the groups where women are that's going to buy your product.
Right.
Like, that's things that we have to think about, like when we're picking platforms and showing up.
I love that, because there's waving my hand right now. Um, I think I have a profile on every platform. Okay, and at one point I was trying to post everywhere. I was trying to post here and post there, post everywhere, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm so over social media. I don't want it. I don't need it. I'm done with it. And then I had to have this conversation with a business coach, and she told me, she says, listen, just pick a platform to make it don't have to be that hard. Just go with where your women are, go with where your audience is. And so I chose a platform and I began to grow it, and I was just like, oh, you know what, you're right about that, you might be right. Okay. So it was that is very a gem right there, because there are so many there are so many other people that are in the same boat, that are
Mhm.
everywhere and trying to post everywhere, and it's getting a little bit much. It gets to be a lot, and then they get tired out and burned out, and nobody wants to be a part of it.
And I think the key to that too, is that you can focus on one platform, and when you get to a place where you can hire somebody, now they can
Mhm.
take all that content that you put on that one platform and now start to curate it for other platforms. So now I can take all my reels and post them on YouTube Shorts and TikToks. I can take some of my longer form content on Instagram and now have somebody transcribe that, and now I can post it on LinkedIn and Facebook. So that's why I say, if you're going to pick one platform and go hard, go all in, and then when you are in a position to hire someone, let them repurpose that content, because it's still good content.
I love it. That whole repurpose. Listen, y'all, that's a gem she just dropped right there. The repurposing. If you're not taking your notes, I suggest you get your notebook and start taking your notes right now. Repurposing is one of the key ways that you're able to use your content, the short forms, breaking it down.
Mhm.
Okay, so I don't want to give away too much Coach Rocket, but I'm going to share this. So I was in this training session, oh my gosh, probably a good maybe 6 to 8 months ago. And one of the things that they showed was to take one piece of content and break it down into like 30 pieces. And I'm just like, hold on, that's only about a good 15 minutes, or how are you gonna do that? Right. And the way that they showed it, I was just like, oh my God, y'all have just changed my life. Like,
Yes.
it's amazing to see that you can actually take the content that you have and repurpose it in so many ways. We'll have more of that on another episode on all the ways to repurpose. But to get back to our talk tonight on magnetic messaging, are there certain words that you should use when it comes to attracting your ideal client? Or is there certain things that you should think about? I mean, I know we talk about the pain points and knowing your audience, but are there certain, I think I've heard them called power words,
Yes.
or phrases that we should think about using in our marketing?
Yes. So I love this question. This is actually something I put probably 100% more focus on in 2023. So the way I look at it is, we have ideal clients and we have dream clients. Our ideal clients are probably more so beginners. So they're probably the ones who want to know how to bake a cake. I actually made a post about this today. So they probably want to know how to bake a cake. Whereas my dream client, they don't want to know how to bake a cake. They want to know why they should bake a cake, because they may end up hiring somebody else to bake the cake. They may end up, getting someone else to do it, but they want to know why they should. So the way you speak to your ideal clients is completely different than how you speak to your dream clients, which some people may call premium clients. So I might use a lot of simpler words for my ideal clients because I'm trying to get them to understand certain points. I might say, you need a content plan or a content strategy. That makes sense for them. Whereas for my premium clients, they're looking for a content conversion strategy because they truly want to make the sales. They've already got a strategy in place. Now they want to make the sales. But there's also power words, sophisticated, elegant, no brainer. Those are all words that you use when you're trying to attract a certain type of client, when you truly want to be magnetic. Like, I'll just give you an example. If I start talking like, oh yeah, well, all my ratchets at, where my girls at, where my city girls, then who do you think I'm gonna attract? Whereas
Right.
we're all my bosses and experts who are running six-figure businesses and know that it's time for you to truly turn up in your business. I
Come on.
basically I basically said the same thing, but
Right.
I'm speaking a different way to the right people. So
Yes.
if you're wondering like, why do I keep getting this particular type of client showing up in my programs, buying my stuff? I always say, well, how are you talking to them? If
Mm-hmm.
Also, my dream clients don't want to be talked to about, girl, I know you burned out, you struggling, and you tired. Well, guess what's going to happen? If you say that to them, that's what you're going to get in your programs, in your services, your offers. But if
Right.
you say, if I can say the exact same thing, I can say, Tamika, you are a hard worker. You've been killing this YouTube thing. But what I know what you need right now is just a little bit support. I didn't call you burnt out, tired, or anything.
Mhm.
I spoke to you in a way that resonates with you and where you're at. I like to say maturity too, but it's a way that speaks nice to you. Like, talk to me nice, right? So
Right.
I will say there are different ways that you want to talk to your dream clients, your premium clients, and if you want to get away from the people who stress you out, literally stress you out, then it's probably time for you to think about your messaging.
Listen, I wish my phone wouldn't break because I would just drop the mic. You know, where is the microphone when you need it? I need about 10,000 of them right now. Okay. You just drop the mic on all of them, especially that last one. Okay. Do not, get away from those who stress you out.
Just saying.
Gosh. But listen, the way that you talk, oh my gosh, like that is so important. It is really important the way that you talk because, as you said, if this is what you're putting out, that's what you're going to attract, right? So if you're going to put the words out that you want to attract, think about what you really want in your business or who are your clients that you're trying to attract and speak that language to them. How do they speak? Here's the other thing though. When you are showing up as yourself on social media,
Mhm.
how important is it to really show up as you compared to, okay, I'm gonna talk like this, like, okay, I did not give anybody a disclaimer. I'm a big country, y'all. And so y'all gonna hear some country slang come out of my mouth. I'm not even sorry. That's just who I am, right? So just like that, Coach Rocky, I'm country. I have a lot of country still in me. I'm a good country girl. But how important is it for you to show up this way all the time, or should you show up this way as, this is who I am with, people that I'm comfortable with, but when it comes down to my clients, I need to switch it up and talk with proper English and be a certain way. Like, is it important to do that, or is it more important for you to stay true to who you are?
So I love this question. So I'm gonna tell you, there's a here's what happens. People think that they have to be somebody different, and then as soon as someone makes them feel comfortable with being themselves, it's kind of like a shock to everybody else because they're like, who is this person? I've never seen this person. Whereas if you stepped out on the scene and you always was this country girl, but how you talk to your people was different, then of course that's what they love, they pick up on.
Mhm.
So I've always been this way. I'm from New Orleans. I mean, majority of my life I am.
Hold on. Let me just stop the pause. Listen, y'all, we are live, and I'm so sorry, but I had to pause. I did not know you were from New Orleans. I'm from Louisiana too. Hello, sister. Okay, go ahead on,
Listen,
coach. Go ahead on, coach. Let
so
me. Let me.
there are times where my accent will come out real heavy, and then there's times where my Texas twang that I have because I live in Texas now, it'll come out too. And so I tell people this is who I am from the beginning. I've never been anything different. My messaging has elevated, but it's never downsized. Like it never went down. And so I
Right.
tell people from the jump, just be who you are. If you got a little country in you, if you got a little New Yorker in you, if you whatever it is, just be you, but still learn how to talk to people. Talk to
Right.
people in a way like people on social media, my clients, they'll say, Coach Rocky, you sometimes you slap us and then you hug us afterwards. And
I
it's and
felt it.
you know, and it's like I get it because I do. I will fuss at them and then I'll be like, okay, y'all, let's pray in the same sentence. And that's what they love and they respect about me. Not only my authority and my expertise, but that I'm a real person at the end of the day. So if you're coming to a point where you're like, man, I really just want to show up as myself, there's still a way for you to be professional. There's still like I don't cuss that much anymore. Like when I first started, I was like, Lord, I'm trying to get this cussing out. But it I don't cuss as much anymore because I don't want to attract that type of person either. So those are just some things to think about.
I love that. I love that. Just being yourself. Being yourself 24/7, that's what's going to allow you to really connect with more people.
Mhm.
I used to apologize. I used to apologize for, for my countriness, but I don't anymore. I just like being me. Being
Yeah.
me, you're going to get the best of to me.
Can I
All the
respond
time.
to Stacy?
Yes, I was just gonna put that up. Go ahead on.
So Stacy said corporate America has programmed us to code switch, but conversations like this continue to give those who aren't confident permission to be. Let me tell you something, Stacy. I have been the angry black woman at work. I have been too opinionated. I've been loud, all those things, right? And so as I thought about this going into business, let's think back to childhood for a second. We also had labels and titles when we were kids. You were
Right.
too active, you ran around too much, you talked too much. I was that kid. Now I get paid to talk. I get paid to use my words, right? So All the things that people try to downsize you for, those are your strengths from God. That is what God has gave you in order to go out and lead people, because we all have a specific strength that only certain people are going to be able to hear from us. They're going to be able to relate to us. And because we operate in that, that's why we become magnetic.
Mm-hmm. I love
So
that.
I love that she put that comment in there, because it's something we all kind of have to shake off. I call it our representative. We have
Right.
to take off our representative. So I love that. Yes, I'm big black, dope black woman,
I
big
love it. I love it. That's the other thing. I was in corporate America for what, almost 16 years. And I showed up as Tamika, y'all. Like, seriously, I walked in the door. The first day I walked in, I would have a sit down with folks and it's like, well, tell me a little bit about you. Well, I can be a little loud. I like to laugh. I love to laugh. And it can get loud, y'all. It can get real loud. I'm a big country, but I will get the job done. It was just like, oh, well,
Yep.
you're going to fit right in. Well, perfect. And it turns out me being the loudest one in the entire building. But they came to love my laughter and me just being Tamika, showing up as Tamika.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Stacey, the same has always been said about me, and you're speaking nothing but the truth. I'm loud, bold, and big black. Come through, Stacey.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. So that is the other important thing when we are talking to our target audience and our ideal clients and dream clients is to just show up as your authentic self. Speak in the way that they need you to speak to them. Speak about the things that they will receive from being in your company, working with you, buying from you, whatever that is. Speak the language that's going to help them see the transformation. So, Coach Rocky, there was one statement that I heard the other day, and it was, "Don't sell features, sell futures."
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I hadn't heard that before in all of my years, but I love that. Don't sell features, sell futures. And so that basically is saying don't sell all the benefits that you're gonna offer. Okay. Don't just go read down the line of this is what it's all about, y'all. No, sell them their future. And I don't even like to say sell, like you're offering them a chance to make a transformation in their lives.
Let
Really and
me
truly.
let me tag on to that.
Uh-huh.
So, I love this conversation because I do speak on this. And so, what they mean by futures is the benefits. And so, a lot of times we pack our programs and things with all these different things, and we'll say you're going to get all of this, but what does that really mean? So, I can give you a checklist on what to do throughout the day to make sure you hit your content goals.
Mhm.
Okay, what is that checklist going to do for me? It is going to give you the confidence to show up on social media every single day. That's the future. That's the benefit. That
Right.
checklist is just another thing. But what is it really giving to my person? The ability to show up every day. So when people say the future, what does that future look like for your client? And you'll be able to transcribe that particular feature that you're giving them into what the future looks like.
I love it. I love it. That was I mean, it was very enlightening for me when I heard him just like, wow, that makes sense. It really makes sense. Nobody wants to, nobody want to hear all of that. They can read it for themselves. But
Mhm.
offering them the future it's much more powerful, much more powerful. So, Coach Rocky, listen, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. I'm not going to hog all her time, y'all. But I want her to share with how you can reach out to her and find her across social. What's your favorite platform, Coach Rocky? Let's ask that question.
Ooh. So I will tell y'all, last year I spent a lot of time on Instagram. And I love Instagram. First off, I haven't left Instagram, but I have moved to primarily Facebook and LinkedIn right now because I'm getting in my writing bag, if you want to say. So I'm currently on Facebook. You can find me at Janelle Rocket. That's just my personal profile. You guys can find me there, but also everywhere else is Coach Rocky Knows Her Ish. The best way to work with me, I will tell people so the best way to work with me is going to be to connect with my podcast. It is a private podcast, which means there is a sign up fee for it. But I like to say it's daily coaching for less than 10 minutes a day. So My podcast, Conquer Your Ish podcast, is the first part of the Conquer Your Ish brand. And then for anyone who's saying, you know what, I don't want a podcast, I don't want to do a call, I truly just want to get a strategy from you, Coach Rocky, or just, feel confident in my messaging, you can definitely reach out to me and book a strategy call. That way we can work on what you need within an hour and you walk away with some confidence and clarity on how to show up online.
Awesome. Let me just add this to that. This is for all the folks that have ever asked me, Tamika, what should I be saying? What should I write? This is for all of you, to make sure that you are getting the information that you need. This is Coach Rocky's lane of genius. Okay, this is what she does. So I want you all to reach out to her again. Book a call, get a discovery call in with her, or conqueryourishpodcast.com. That's where you're going to be able to get the daily training from her when it comes to creating the content, the messaging, talking the right way, saying the right things to get the attention of your ideal clients. So make sure you connect with Coach Rocky on LinkedIn and Facebook. Boy,
you just love the kids. Hey, we can't make this up, y'all. We can't.
We are live, y'all. Live and full effect. But listen, thank you all for tuning in to tonight's session with Coach Rocky as we talked about magnetic messaging and what is that? What does it look like? How you should create your magnetic messaging. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And if you have any questions on, continuing to have business growth in other areas, make sure you tune in every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here for the month of July. It's going to be a high month, y'all, okay? Where we're going to have more conversations about business growth in ways that you can continue to have elevated business growth for your business. So again, connect with Coach Rocky, y'all. Facebook, LinkedIn, at Janelle Rocket. I'm going to put your name back on there real quick just to make sure.
Oh, no worries. Yeah.
Hold on, where'd your name go? I thought your name was on there. Oh, you know what? I know I need to take this off. But make sure you all connect with Coach Rocky. She's going to be able to help you get the magnetic messaging that you need for your business, helping you scale your business. All right. So thank you all so much. We appreciate you. And I'll see you all next Monday.
Bye, guys.